SuperTalk Mississippi Media production. You're listening to Thunder and Lightning on SuperTalk Mississippi, covering Mississippi State sports like nobody else. With SportsTalk Mississippi's Brian Hadad and Robbie Faulk of On3 Sports. Now get ready for Thunder and Lightning.
This is Thunder and Lightning here on SuperTalk Mississippi. Brian Hadad and Robbie Faulk here with you on a Friday morning. Thanks for joining us here at supertalk.fm or wherever it is that you get podcasts from. We appreciate you guys out there, our great listeners, especially our servicemen and women out there taking care of us. Want to thank our sponsors over at Strange Brew Coffee House and Churn and Spoon Ice Cream. Start your day the right way with a trip to the drive-thru over at Strange Brew Coffee House here in Starkville or at Brupolo over in Tupelo. Be a little weird, Robbie, if Brupolo was in Geeseland Corner.
Oh, boy, that would be a little weird.
But I thought too.
Geeseland.
Yeah, Geeseland.
Geeseland Corner.
Could be Geesline. I don't know. Or Cooner. I don't know. It could be anything. I think I got the corner part of it right, but who knows on the Geeseland?
You would think.
Wherever you are in our great state, you can enjoy Strange Brew Coffee each and every morning. It's just a click away. StrangeBrewCoffeehouse.com. Pip Printing and Signs, reliable service for every business need. Whatever your role is in your business, if you own a business, you work in a business, you know someone who owns a business, you need to tell them about Pip Printing and Signs. Whatever the vision is for the business you work in, Pip Printing and Signs has a plan to get people in the door, to keep coming back, and to become long-term customers that you can rely on. And the best part of all, 30 years plus of experience knows that if they've been open that long, you know that you can trust them to do exactly that. If you're a Mississippi State fan, signing up with Pip Printing and Signs sends a 10% of your purchase to the Bulldog Initiative in your name. You become a Bulldog Initiative without spending any extra money. That's a great deal. Call Cam Baker today. Tell him you heard about him on Thunder and Lightning, and he'll get you taken care of. 601-499-5216. When you need printing, call Pip today. College Corner, collegecornerstore.com is the place to find the maroon and white merchandise that you are looking for. You are looking for it. It is time to start a new football season, and you're going to do that with a new game day polo. So before you head up to Starkville, maybe make a trip through Jackson, through Ridgeland, through Flowood, and grab a new polo at College Corner. They're by Fleet Feet in Ridgeland, by the Half Shell in Flowood. Stop by there today, talk to those guys, and get some great new MSU gear. You need it. You need it this weekend. You need to go to College Corner. Restaurant Tyler, Starkville's flagship restaurant. I would imagine that place is already starting to buzz about what this weekend's going to be. Full every night. That doesn't mean you shouldn't go. All right? It's worth the wait. It's worth it. If you go up to the restaurant Tyler and like, it's going to be about 30, 40 minutes. That's a 30, 40 minutes well spent. Just sit there, talk, enjoy yourself. Maybe head around to the back to the guest room and grab a cocktail, and then grab one of the best meals you're going to have anywhere in the Southeastern Conference. People who are from all around the SEC, they always talk about Restaurant Tyler. We're lucky enough to have it here in our town. Go grab a meal this weekend at Restaurant Tyler. Priority One Bank, 16 locations throughout Central Mississippi here to serve you. Let PriorityOneBank.com be your guide, show you not only where those locations are, show you what's near you, but show you how they're going to help you manage your money, help you invest, and help you plan for the future. You want to have a great relationship with your bank now more than ever. You want to be able to talk to people on the phone. You want to be able to get in touch with your bankers. You don't want to have to go through a whole lot of hoops to find out about your money. Priority One Bank allows you to do exactly that. 16 locations means there's one near you if you live in Central Mississippi. Let Priority One Bank make you their priority. Robbie Faulk, we have made it. We have made it. It is Friday. It is time for preview, playmakers, and predictions. The 3 Ps are back on Thunder and Lightning. We did it! And we are very pleased to have a sponsor this year for the 3 Ps. Sanders Rentals. Will Sanders has got some great game day cottages he wants you to check out. We are talking less than 5 minutes from campus, and we are talking about a value that beats any hotel in town. You know, if you are a fan that travels for these games, the hotel prices in Starkville are outrageous. we can do about half the cost here for twice the amenities with these game day rentals from Sanders Rentals, Cottonwood Trails, just off of Old West Point Road, north of Starkville. You can't beat this deal. Call Will Sanders today. Tell him you heard about it on Thunder and Lightning. 662-769-1412. He'll get you taken care of. These cottages are available for rental for all of the home games this year and any Mississippi State event. If you want to save some money and get a much better experience than you can get at any hotel, call Sanders Rentals today. So I hope everyone is as couldn't get it out there, is as excited as we are. That's a lot of similar. I think I'm having a stroke. I'm telling you, like my talk in the past week has been not right.
It's almost slurred.
Yeah, I'm a little. Maybe I should go to the doctor. We'll see.
Yeah, that I've been saying that for years that you should go to the doctor.
I normally do. I will go. Mine takes advantage.
My suggestion was a psychiatrist, but because you're getting healthy physically, but yeah. I mean, there's still some things you might need to work out. You and I might need to go to Dr. Melfi.
No. Nah, I don't know about her. Mississippi State versus Eastern Kentucky, 5 o'clock kickoff over at Davis Wade Stadium. First game of the season for Mississippi State. First game of the career of Jeff Lebby as a head football coach. First game for Blake Shape. A lot of firsts. A lot of firsts are happening now for Mississippi State. We've talked about it a lot over the last few weeks about how many new faces are in the starting lineup. If I'm correct, offensively, 11 new faces in terms of haven't started. Reese might have started a game. I don't remember, but it's at least 10. Defensively, it's probably 7 or 8, just depending on what that starting lineup ends up being. Talking about guys who just have not played, who've been at Mississippi State but haven't played, and this new transfers coming in. So it's a lot of new at Mississippi State. New there's usually some excitement. I got to tell you, and I saw there was a thread on On3 about this. By the way, congrats On3 having a great run, getting all these new customers in. You guys ran a great special last week, and one of the top. I was told by a source, one of the top. Yes, the source was you. One of the top got it in terms of getting new customers in last week. So congrats to you guys for that.
We have a special, if you will allow me to talk about it. You were trying to rush through that. Yes, we were through the first 2 days. We were top 10 on the network and new subs. And this is a sale that we're all doing before the season. We've done a really big push for it to bring new members on, and it's been great. We have a lot of new posters, and it feels like every day there's a new person stopping in and posting for the first time. And that's what I love, is that our message board is ever growing, and it's such a vibrant place for Mississippi State fans. And it's not like the bickering that we've had before. There's definitely some back and forth, but it's never to the point where you're just calling people names or whatever. And if it is, we address it real quick and get it out of the way. It's a healthy, to me, kind of a healthy environment, as healthy as it can be on the message board. But love the message board, which I said on Twitter, it is the heartbeat of our site. Yeah. So if you're into that, if you're into talking with other Bulldog fans, and these are, I promise you, the most rabid Mississippi State fans you'll ever be around. And on top of that, the most knowledgeable. I mean, if you're into that, if you love talking to other fans, this is the place for you. This is the message board for you. And Brian can vouch for that, because his creation is also there with us, Six Pack Speak. So if you want to check out our free message board, it's there as well. But Kickoff 24 is our promo code, $5 a month. You can't even buy a meal anymore for $5. So $5 a month will get you into the message board, will get you full Mississippi State coverage, team and recruiting news, and you get to see all the other networks. So you cannot beat it. We are having an incredible week, and we're extending the sale into Friday because we've had such a good turnout. So please come check us out.
All right. Very good.
Thank you, Brian.
Hey, you're welcome. So something I read on the board, though, it's funny you talk about how excited the fans are and the rabid fan base. But I agree with this person who said this is not going to be a big crowd on Saturday. Mm-hmm. I would be really surprised if it's over 50,000. I think it'll be closer between 42 and 45, which that's about 20,000 empty seats at Davis Wade Stadium. I think two things can be true at the same time. I think there's a lot of excitement for Jeff Lebby and what he's bringing to Mississippi State, but I think that you've got a lot of people saying this is a FCS team. It's going to be hot. It's cost a fortune to go to these games. I'm just going to sit this one out. I'm excited for Jeff Lebby. I think we're going to be good. I think it's going to be okay. But this is there's just not enough juice. Like I would tell you that if State was playing a conference game to start the year, if they were playing an interesting non-conference game, you might have a bigger crowd. But I think this one is. I just don't think there's going to be a lot of folks at Davis Wade Stadium.
No, and I mean times have changed, man. I mean this is a totally different era than it was in 2009. Whenever Dan Mullen was pushing the whole like we need you to show up before we do kind of thing. And even though there's been a lot of comparisons to that time, I don't think the fan base's excitement it quite matches it yet. Having said that, I think that he can win this fan base over fairly quickly. If you're able to start off this season 3-0 and you get to that Florida game, I think that's going to be a packed house. I think that's going to be one of your better crowds in a while. But yeah, for this first one, I don't get the sense among the fan base that they're at the point where they're, foaming at the mouth to try to get to Davis Wade Stadium. And it sucks that it's not that, but at the same time, we've talked about it. Like, I get it. We've discussed all the things that this fan base has to pay for now. And, the revenue sharing thing, I think, can alleviate a little bit of that. But you're going to have a harder time. Ole Miss I don't think they've sold out Furman yet. So when you're not playing a great opponent early on in the season, it's going to be seriously hot. And then for Mississippi State, it's a program that has lost some of its luster. I think that all of that kind of plays into it. I hope there's a big crowd there. It'd be nice to see a big crowd. I just am not expecting it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Let's talk about the game itself. I think we talked earlier this week about we used the word easy. So maybe we can try to define what easy is. Like if I tell you that Blake Shapen throws the ball 20 times in this game, don't you feel like the completion number should be 16 or 17? That would be easy. If I tell you that Mississippi State runs the ball 40 times in this game, that they should be well over 200 yards rushing, that would feel easy. I should be able to tell you that Mississippi State got to the quarterback and had 4 sacks in this game. That would be easy. It feels like if we're going to talk about it, it's an easy win for Mississippi State. It needs to look that way in the stat line. Last year was an easy win for Mississippi State in terms of the scoreboard, but I think you and I would both tell you that it was not an easy win. They had some moments where they didn't look like they were in sync. I don't want to see that on Saturday.
Every facet, they should look sharp. And it's like we said the other day, like when we actually talked about this game and what is acceptable from it. And, yesterday we talked about the whole point differential that they have, the spread. I think that you need to come out of this ball game saying, this team might struggle this year. I don't know, but I didn't get any inclination from this game. I didn't start throwing up red flags in this ball game. The smooth sailing that you get out of this game is total domination on the offensive side of the ball. The other team struggles to move the football on offense. You're clean in special teams. You don't have a lot of pre-snap penalties. You don't have a lot of stupid mistakes on offense. That's what I want to see on Saturday. And, yeah, I think Blake Shapen being really consistent with what he does at quarterback would be a really good sign. Like you said, 16 for 22. 3 of his misses were a broken up pass 40 yards down the field, or, a ball that was just overshot, maybe 50 yards down the field. The passes deep down the field, maybe a couple of them weren't complete. I don't want to see a dropped pass 10 yards down the field wide open, or completely missing his receivers. I want to see him have total command of this offense in game one.
Yeah, that is a fair. I think that's a totally fair requirement, a totally fair thing to want to see come Saturday. From the running game, like I said, 200 plus yards. I expect Booth, Lee, and Daniels to all get their share of the carries. I expect all of those guys to average 5-6 yards per carry, and I feel like that I'm on the low end with that one. I expect when we talk about, I said 16 completions, right? I expect that to be around 250, 260 yards worth of offense. I want to see well over, 10, 11, 12 yards per completion in this one, because that's what this offense is built on. Basically, I guess what we're saying at the core of it, Robbie, is I want the offense to look like a Jeff Lebby offense has looked at every previous stop. I don't want to have any doubts coming out of this. Now, we talked about Joe Moorhead yesterday, and you go back to his first game, 63 points and a ton of yards, right? But Keaton Thompson in that game was something like, I have to go back and look, he was like 8 for his completion percentage was really low. It was under 50%. And I remember talking about that, and some people were just like, it's not that big a deal. It's not that big a deal. It ended up being a big deal. When they switched to Nick Fitzgerald, it ended up being a big deal.
And like 6 touchdowns, but it was like,
I need to go back and look at that line. Yeah. But
he tied Dak's record for touchdowns, but you were like, yeah, but it didn't look particularly sharp. They looked awful. It was Stephen F. Austin or whatever it was. It was rough.
It didn't make a lot of sense. So this time, like I haven't gone back and looked at like what Ole Miss did in their first game against an FCS team when Lebby was there. I'm sure they dominated, but I don't know what it was off the top of my head. So you had 13 of 31 with 5 touchdown passes. And it's like that was an issue, and I people didn't want to say it was, but it was.
We kept waiting for Keaton to really get it together, and it just never happened. Like the running ability was there, but the passing just never happened. I thought he was going to be a star. I don't know what
would have been if Dan Mullen had stayed. I don't have any doubt in my mind about that.
Yeah, I could definitely see Mullen turning him into a great quarterback for sure.
So easy on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, I mean, you should just be a superior unit in every position, and you should be able to, limit this team to under 300 yards of total offense and limit them. You should be able to get to their quarterback multiple times in this game. Again, to me, that is the definition of easy in this one.
Yes, for sure. And again, that's what, we talked about it the other day too. Like, we need to see the backups in the game in the second half.
Yes.
Like that's always my thing in these games is, when people ask, what do you think is what's your expectations? What do you want to see? And it's always in these ball games, I want the starters to be on the bench in the second half. I want it to be total domination to the point where at halftime you go in and you come out and the starters have their helmets off and you're playing Chris Parson and Michael Van Buren in the second half, and we can see them roll a little bit. And on defense, same thing. I want to see those younger guys out there on the field. So let's see if that happens. That would be a great start to Jeff Lebby's tenure here.
And then from a special teams perspective, just clean, right? If you attempt a field goal, you make it. Your punts aren't shanked. And your return game, you can't ever predict a big return, but you just want to be consistent in it. One thing, let's start the campaign now, Robbie. Kickoffs through the end zone. Don't. It's not ever worth the risk. Just kick it through the back of the end zone. I want to see that on Saturday. I think if I could, that might make me happier than anything else.
I'll say this. When Nick Barmera came in last year, I think that happened. when they got him healthy, for the most part, he was booting it, man. Like you
just didn't see
a lot. Even watch the
kickoffs. They weren't scoring any points.
Yeah, that's true. I think Nick Barmera will be really good from a kickoff specialist point of view, and that needs to happen. And then I want to see more consistency from Kyle Ferry. I thought that was an excellent freshman season for him. We'll see him take the next step, and then we'll see on punter too. By the way, got some clarity yesterday on Ethan Pulliam. A lot of people have asked about him.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ethan is not going to play this year, but is on the team.
Okay.
He's going to have to redshirt. And we explained this whenever he first signed with Mississippi State. He has got to be on scholarship in football to play both sports.
Mm-hmm.
He can't be a walk-on and be getting money from baseball. He can't be he can't be halfway funded in baseball and play football, whatever. He's got to be scholarshiped in full for football. To play multiple sports, you have to have a scholarship. So the plan is, because they love Ethan, and I think he is the future for Mississippi State at punter, the plan is for him to redshirt this year, from what I gathered yesterday, and to come back next year and compete for a job. The hope is that he's punting for Mississippi State next year on full scholarship. So just wanted to get that out. But he is with the football team, and he's going to be with the football team this year, but the plan is to redshirt him.
Okay. Well, there you go. Good information. Thank you for
the moment he steps on the field, he has to be on scholarship.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, it makes sense. All right, let's move into our preview, our Playmakers and prediction. That's brought to you by our good friends over at the Mississippi Beef Council, who want to remind you that beef, it is what's for dinner. Wherever you are in our great state this weekend, if you're at the games or if you're at the junction, if you're at the house, if you're wherever you are, let's throw some beef on the grill. And if you haven't done it already, well, you need to make the trip to the store. You need to get those tailgate lists together. And at the top of the list needs to be the steaks that you're cooking, the brisket that you're cooking, the tri-tips that you're cooking. Don't make that mistake. Don't be the guy who's like, hey, what are we having at the tailgate this week? Oh, I don't know. Don't be that guy. Be confident.
Chicken tenders, cold chicken tenders.
Ooh, well, that might sound good to some, not to me. Sounds good to people who would get a guy who's not really eligible to play and like, hey, why don't you show up in a Lamborghini for your signing? That'd be the highlight of your life. Anyway.
That'd be a lot more funny if they didn't have 4 more just like him, but
hey, let's just enjoy the little wins this year, okay?
Hey, did you get a chance to cook your tri-tip yet?
My tri-tip.
Didn't you get a tri-tip? Well, I guess that was back.
That was back at Bay Spring. Ago. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I cooked that thing. It was delicious.
How was it? I still haven't cooked my chuck roast yet. We just haven't had a chance.
This might be a Mississippi pot roast weekend for you.
I think I might do that.
That sounds like a good idea. See, I'm helping you. Beef!
Actually,
for dinner.
You've given me a great idea.
Okay. So
next Saturday, I'm hosting several people for the Arizona State game. Going to watch the game on the back porch. You are invited if you want to, but I don't know if you'll want to come or not. It's at 9:30 or whatever game time is.
I mean, I got to be up to watch it.
I think we'll do a Mississippi pot roast.
There you go. You can't.
What do you think?
I think that's a good choice.
It's in stone.
All right, then. Beef, it's what's for dinner, especially next Saturday. Thanks to our friends, the Mississippi Beef Council. Literally, thanks to our friend at the Mississippi Beef Council for that pot roast. Two Brothers Smoked Meats in the heart of the Cotton District is the place to find the smoked Southern soul food that you are looking for. You are looking for it. Don't be the one this weekend who's like, gosh, dog it, I should have gone to Two Brothers. Don't be him. Just go to Two Brothers. Enjoy it. And of course, if you can also make it over to the older brother for a fancy sandwich, well, then you should do that as well. You should be excited to be back in Starkville this weekend. And if you are, that's 2 great restaurants right there. The older brother, if you haven't been there yet, you've got to find a way to check it out this weekend, right there in the heart of the Cotton District. Great products, great service. Every business likes to promise it to you. They deliver it to you at Advantage Business Systems. Have been doing it for 50 years. 50. 50 years of taking care of their customers and providing top-notch business technology. If you need a new copier, a new printer, new computers, new laptops, call Advantage Business Systems. And then if you need service, it's the same number, it's the same people. It's not a week-long wait. Who can wait a week? Imagine your business with a copier that doesn't work, and they tell you it's going to be a week to fix it. How does that work for you? It doesn't. That's why you need to talk with Advantage Business Systems. 601-362-9192, or visit them online, absms.com. Find out how Advantage Business Systems will help your business do business. Before you're at the game this Saturday, you need to be at Maroon & Co. You need to be checking out their incredible selection of Mississippi State gear, stuff you cannot find anywhere else. I'm wearing today. I wore yesterday. I'm sorry. One of the new shirts they've got on in stock there. Custom shirt. You cannot get it anywhere but Maroon & Co. This I don't know how to describe the color of it. It's like a light maroon with the state script on there. And that's one of some awesome new shirts they've got in. Plus, as we talked about yesterday, an entire new shipment of these mossy oak, bottomland, and the different camouflage patterns. I won't lie and tell you that I know a lot about camouflage, but they're really cool hats. You're going to want to check them out. You're going to want to be wearing those to the games this fall. Thunder15 is the promo code, 15% off regular price on any item. Some exclusions do apply. Before you go to the games this fall, we go into Maroon & Co. Robbie, it is time for our first Playmakers of the 2024 season. Offensively, who do you have?
Offensively, I think that this is going to be a big game for Kevin Coleman.
Okay.
I just feel like this is a breakout ball game for him. They're going to try to do some exciting things on the offensive side of the ball. I could go Blake Shapen here, but I think specifically I'm just going to go with a wide receiver. And I think Kevin Coleman's going to make some wow plays in this game because he's just going to be more athletic than the people he's going up against. So he's probably going to be more open than a lot of other players. So that's my pick. I think he's going to have a tremendous season too. He was really good at Jackson State, knows Jackson State, and then he transferred that over to Louisville last year. I thought he did some really good things there. This is going to be his breakthrough season, and it starts on Saturday.
I think for game one, I got to go with Blake Shapen. I got to see the quarterback. I want to see a quarterback throwing the ball down the field. I want to see him escaping pressure and making plays with his feet. I don't think there'll be a lot of design runs for Shapen in this one, but you will have to see him be mobile a couple of times. I want to see, as you mentioned earlier, command of the offense, accuracy. That's what I want to see from this one. So Blake Shapen is going to be my offensive playmaker. What about defensively, Robbie? What do you got?
Defensively, I think State's going to peel their ears back and get after the quarterback. This is actually a really good offensive line in the FCS. They're returning basically 4 starters up front. They have an All-American at left tackle. So it's going to be a solid group, and it's a pretty big group too. But I still think State's going to have the edge there. So I'm going to go with John Lewis in this game. I think John Lewis getting after the quarterback, making plays, whether it be in the passing game or whatever, he's going to be the leader of the defense on Saturday, and he's going to come up with some big plays for Mississippi State.
That's a good choice because it's mine as well. I feel like John Lewis we've been building to this point with him all offseason. He's been such a focal point for Mississippi State. He comes to media days. State needs a guy to rush the passer. I think that guy can be John Lewis, so I'm going to put him down as my official defensive playmaker as well. Who is your X factor?
My X factor in this game is who do I want to go with? What about Kelly Jones?
I like that.
What if he comes up with a pick and a couple of pass breakups, a big interception, maybe a pick 6 or something to get his young career started? This is such a strange thing to do, like trying to figure out like who's going to be a standout for Mississippi State when you just don't know anything about this team.
Yeah, I feel like we'll have a little more feel for it next week, but you're right. My X factor is your playmaker, and that's Kevin Coleman. I think that he plays a huge role for Mississippi State this week, especially with Kelly Akari out. And then I think in the special teams part of things, he's going to have some opportunities in the return game. I think he could bust one there as well. So Coleman is going to be my X factor. I expect him over 100 yards receiving in this game. I think he's good for a long one too. I think he's good for a 50, 60 yarder, be it a deep ball or a play where he just gets something going after the catch. I think Coleman has a big game for Mississippi State. Prediction time, my friend. First one of the year. Give it to me.
I'm going to go Mississippi State 52, Eastern Kentucky 10.
That's a completely fair prediction. Nothing wrong with that at all. I'm basically with you there. I think I'm going to go 52-13, something like that. So
I think they really need to put on some.
They need 50
points. That they really do.
Yeah.
That they need to show fans why they should be excited. Even if this is Eastern Kentucky, you should be turning off the TV or leaving that game and saying, that was kind of fun.
Yeah. When's the last? So State hasn't scored over 50 since the Tennessee State game on November 19th of 2022. So not that long ago, but at the same time, it feels like a long time ago based on what we saw last year. So just real quick, let me see something. So you said 50. I said 50. We both said 52, right? So
I said 52. Yeah, I can't remember what you said.
Right. State in its last 3 games of the season combined for 58 last year. Now, 41 of that was against Southern Miss, but the other 2 games were 10 and 7.
Southern Miss game that they actually kind of struggled in early.
If you want to go further back, go back to the Arkansas game, which is where the wheels really fell off, even though State won. State scored a total of 16, 23, 33, 40, 81 points in the final 6 games of the season.
Yikes.
I mean, and they could be around 60 points when this one's over. If they're not, we got something to talk about.
This offense could be really bland for Lebby's, history and still be infinitely better than what we watched last year. I refuse to believe this offense is going to be anything close to what we watched last year. Refuse it.
I agree with you. I think that's going to be the case. I think we're going to see a brand new look for Mississippi State. We're going to see the excitement and the tempo that we have been asking Mississippi State to give for the past decade, basically. I think it's finally here. Hope you guys are headed to Starkville. If you are, well, hopefully if you see Robbie and I, please come by. Say hello. We love to meet you guys. Post-game show will be on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so, and I'll tweet it out so you'll be able to find it. And we'll do a post-game show, and then Thunder and Lightning will be Sunday. I'm trying to convince Robbie to record with me after the game on Saturday evening. So hopefully we can make that happen. Otherwise, it'll be Sunday afternoon before we can get everything up and running. Robbie's got this really mean look on his face right now. He's like, I can't.
This is my resting, what face.
You've got it going big time. Big time. So, all right, guys, have a great weekend. College football is back. Talk to you again on Monday. For Robbie Faulk, I'm Brian Hadad. Thanks for listening to Thunder and Lightning here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.